Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1125. Hello, it's Mike Matthews. Welcome to Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, last place on Earth. Today, it kind of feels like the last place on Earth. Why? Because all these people here, they're all stressed because it's Thursday and they only had 3 days to do what they have to do in 5.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Or they have only 4 days to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's intense these days. Whatever.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
So Bernie Sanders still won't endorse Hillary Clinton. Thank God I didn't have to rhyme the word Hillary. Ah, damn it. Well, I guess I've been at a distillery before. I went to Jack Daniel's in Lynchburg. It was great. I'm a whore for delicious whiskey. Why is whiskey everyone's favorite?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Everywhere you go, everyone's like, oh, whiskey, wow, beer. Not so much now.
Mike's
So,
Daily
to my friends that got into the beer business,
Podcast.
you're screwed.
Yeah!
No, I don't know. Hey, I went to BJ's Brewery yesterday, and I had a beer that had their Tatonka, whatever the Indian word is for buffalo. Did you see Dances with Wolves? They've got a beer named after that. It's quite strong. Oh my, wow. The rest of my Wednesday afternoon, I had no idea I just had one. It was so strong. But you can't leave BJ's without getting a Pizookie. And I got this one that was insane. It had caramel chocolate chips. It was made from pretzel dough. I don't know. Oh, and then I found out from the nice barmaid that there is, in fact, that BJ's doesn't make their own beer. They make their own beer, but they don't make it at the particular spot you're at, which is kind of misleading because they often show vats when you walk into the particular restaurant. And I go, oh. And she goes, oh, but we do make our own root beer, which I was like, what? The Brewmaster that you hear on the show makes his own root beer. We'll hear from him in a little bit. And so I thought that was interesting. And meanwhile, I'm watching all these big screen TVs. They got this scary futuristic wall. Oh, look, it just walked in.
Hello, Mike. I make the root beer. I'm the brewmaster.
Brewmaster, so they made their own root beer. What do you think about that?
I don't care.
You don't?
No, I don't make the root beer anymore.
No.
I live in a root beer vat.
He lives in a root beer vat, everyone. He lives in the vat. He, I guess, emptied out all the root beer and you live in the vat. Is that true?
That's right. I'll cut you.
Well, that's not necessary. And all these big screen TVs at the BJ's, which I wish they could just name that something else, don't you? And there's that Jay Leno show where he's test driving cars, and he's on a racetrack and he's driving with some 80-year-old man, and they're racing around in this car, and they totally flip the car. I mean, big style. Wait, coffee break. Whoa! Look who else walked in. Coffee break while I get a sip. Wow, my coffee was on the other side of Cafe Anyway. Excuse me, let me get to my coffee. Hi, Mike, how y'all doing? It's Benita the Rodeo Queen.
It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
Jay Leno was the best talk show host ever on television. Now he's driving cars. That's dangerous.
Like I said, yeah, cars. Yeah, he almost died when this old guy flipped the car. They got out barely with their lives, and you can watch that now on CNBC or one of those. So that was my exciting Wednesday. You know what? I thought about something yesterday about that movie I was telling you about, the real life movie with Albert Brooks. That was made in 1979. There's this one part in the movie where he's driving with Charles Grodin, and Albert says to Charles, hey, pull over, I gotta make a phone call. I thought that was funny. There was a time when we pulled over and made phone calls. We didn't, if we were in the car, we couldn't make a call. maybe that's how it should still be, because we'd have a lot less accidents. But there were phone booths and those standing phone, not the phone booths, but sometimes they had the phones that were outside, but they were up. But you know what I'm saying. And then there'd be mucus all over them, and it was just an interesting time. And it was not that long ago. So strange. Which leads me to Mark Knopfler. If you don't know who he is, he's the guy behind Dire Straits. And he has since put out a gazillion albums since Dire Straits. He's amazing. Look him up. He's a god. I'm sorry. If you don't know who he is, you need to learn, because his voice is insane and his guitar playing is great. I just had to put that in there. And finally, confidence. Not something I have. You can hear it in my voice. I'm a little bit, I'm lacking in the confidence level, I understand. When I go into a club looking for a woman, I got no confidence. I have to leave that club, right away. But I suddenly realized, no, that's false. We all have confidence. We all have confidence. I am confident in some weird way. No matter where I go, I always have confidence that I'm going to be back there again. I believe it strongly with every fiber of my being, which is another word for confidence, or a phrase or description. So I always think I'm going to go back to that place, even if I've been there only. I remember I had a memory just yesterday that it's just weird. It pulled me back to a time I had to go do some administrative stuff with my dad's estate after he passed away, and I went to some bank and everything, and I'm like, I'm going to go back into this bank. I'll be back here several times. And I was only there the one time. But I remember sitting there, waiting to be served, waiting on some teller or someone to help me, going, yeah, I'm going to be back here a bunch of times. And that was the only time I went to that bank. And that's just like in airports and everywhere I go. I always feel, restaurants, I always feel like, yeah, I'll be back there again. And, some places, obviously not a lot of places I have not been back to. So anyway, that's sort of confidence. We all have a confident feeling, we have confidence. We believe in our shoes that they'll hold us up when we walk down the street. And that is a bizarre example. Anyway, Mike'sDailyPodcast.com is a great place to go. Benita, do you need to go? Yeah, I gotta go. Bye. This is a great discussion. Okay. So there she goes. And you can go to Mike'sDailyPodcast.com with links to all kinds of amazing things and such. There's the Amazon link. You can click on that, buy whatever it is you were going to buy, and that helps out the show. There's a PayPal if you want to donate, and all the Cafe Anyway characters will say hello to, because I know you want that. And there's past podcast pictures. Speaking of the podcast picture.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Today should be a picture of me all stressed out at work, because that's what I am, because they've thrown a bunch of projects at me, and ain't life grand. Oh. Wait. Play that thing I have.
Ain't life grand.
Yes. 8 life grand. Okay, the picture is... Oh, man. I just can't find anything in my stash of pictures. Oh! This one of Benicia. I think I mentioned Benicia last show. I went there for the 4th of July, and it's an interesting spot there. And this huge ship came out. It's like on the bay, and this huge red tanker, they just call them tankers, huh? It just comes floating by, and I got that picture there. You can see it at Mike'sDailyPodcast.com. It's kind of artistic. Okay, now, we're going to do a news segment, aren't we? Let's see, we had the Wow That's Wild files recently. Let's do the Wow Schatz WOW files today.
Wow Schatz WOW.
This is interesting. The robots are coming. This according to the What's Happening Tri-City Voice. That's also where we pulled that Bart story from yesterday. In coming months, users of Facebook's Messenger app and Microsoft's Skype and Canada's KIK, K-I-K, can expect to find new automated assistants offering information and services as a variety of businesses. These messaging chatbots are basically software that can conduct human-like conversations and do simple jobs once reserved for people. Google and other companies are reportedly working on similar ideas. In Asia, software butlers are already part of the landscape, When Washington, D.C. attorney Samantha Gu visited China recently, the 31-year-old said she was amazed at how extensively her friends used bots and similar technology on the texting service WeChat to pay for meals, order movie tickets, and even send each other gifts. It's weird. You don't even know if you're talking to a real person sometimes. Online messaging has become routine for most people, offering more immediacy than email or voice calls. Messaging services are now growing faster than traditional online social platforms such as Facebook or Twitter. And experts say messaging bots can handle a wider range of tasks than apps offered by retailers and other consumer businesses. In part, that's because bots can recognize a variety of spoken or typed phrases when apps force users to choose from options on a drop-down menu. Reaching a chatbot can be as simple as clicking a link in an online ad or scanning a boxy barcode with a smartphone camera. A special purpose app requires a download and often a new account sign-up. Bots are the new apps, they say. Facebook is widely expected to unveil similar tools for its messenger chat service. And also Uber. You can order a car service from Uber or get a boarding pass from KLM, Royal Dutch Airlines, using these chatbots. At those services, automated chatbots handle some interactions with supervision from human operations. Similarly, Facebook has been testing a digital assistant called M, sort of like Apple's Siri and Microsoft's Cortana. Siri, not Siri. That can answer questions or perform tasks like ordering flowers in response to commands on Messenger. It uses a combination of artificial intelligence and input from human overseers. And then there's another messaging service in Canada called Kik. But it is also popular among U.S. teenagers, and it opened a new bot shop recently. Users can talk to bots that will answer questions about the weather, show funny videos, or help with online shopping. Slack, a messenger service used by businesses, has partnered with Taco Bell to introduce a taco bot that helps Slack users order ahead for meals at a local outlet. Well, I can't wait to use it. Soon my podcast will be a botcast, and I'll just be a bot talking to bots. And then cars are being driven by bots, sort of. The intelligence and whatnot. All right. People are getting mad at me that I'm recording this show right now, so they're walking by Cafe Anyway and giving me nasty looks. So let's go outside of Cafe Anyway. We're bringing you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Next show is going to be Madame Rootabega, Valentino,